Welcome to EFTM. Today's smartphone review, it's hidden. It's in my hands because it's so small. The Galaxy Z Flip from Samsung. And no, I couldn't be bothered doing my hair. That's why I'm wearing a hat. But if you want to buy one, hit us up. Look, this is a great phone. I mean, the Samsung Galaxy Fold, their first folding phone that opened outwards like a book, I didn't like. I sent it back so quickly. It was quite unprecedented. It was a bit chunky. I didn't feel for the form factor. I didn't want the biggest screen as I'm out and about. And the screen that was on the front just kind of didn't add any value. It was so small you kind of didn't want to use it. This, however, this is a smartphone that simply folds in half. It is, for all intents and purposes, everything you need in a smartphone. It's big enough. In fact, it's quite a tall screen when you look at it overall. Quite a tall screen, but it's very narrow, which makes it very easy to hold. Now, call it my dainty little hands or whatever you like, but that's a good thing, I reckon. So it's easy to hold in the hand and, you know, operate and swipe around. It's very closable with one hand, but very hard to open with one hand. I don't think that's a negative. It's just something you've got to know when you're using it. It really is a two-hand operation to get it out. Now, that's not a bad thing. None of those are bad things. In fact, I've got to tell you, there ain't many bad things about this. Battery life, excellent. It's a day's battery, probably because, and only because, you actually do glance at the screen here. There's a tiny little screen on the front here. You glance at that now and then. For the time, you're not turning on the whole screen, so you're not always utilizing that entire screen on the inside. A lot of the time, you can use that front little screen. Look, as a smartphone, it does what it needs to do. As a camera, it's not world leading right now, but it's a damn fine camera, and I'll show you some examples of that in a second. But most importantly, it's just a form factor thing. Because you've got a normal smartphone, you've got the option of just simply having it such a smaller form factor tucked away in your pocket or your bag. I've found this much more comfortable to have in the pocket of my jeans, for example, than having a big smartphone that, you know, it kind of pushes out of your pockets. I think it's a great form factor and it keeps the screen protected. Now, it doesn't close exactly flat, but again, I think that's a good thing because now and then you get a bit of dust in there, you shut it flat, that's not crimpling the screen or doing any damage to the screen. Look, there is a very clear fold mark in the middle, but you only see it at certain angles and certain screen colors. But also, you just don't notice it when you're using it. In fact, you spend most of your time kind of swiping on the bottom of the screen as opposed to in the middle where you would feel it. I think they've done a great job hiding the fold, despite the fact that it's very clearly there. You just don't need it and notice it that much, which is a very, very good thing. Facial recognition, not perfect. I found myself entering my passcode more than I have using my face recognition. A lot of the time in low light or poor light, it just doesn't work that great. And also just different circumstances like glasses and hats, I just don't think it copes that well with that. But that said, it's got a fingerprint sensor on the side. The side power button is a fingerprint sensor, and that works just fine. The number one feature of this phone, other than the fashionista awesomeness of having a folding smartphone, is that. Yep, it sits like an L. In fact, you can have it at any angle, and it sits like that. Now, the reason for that is not so that you can sit and read the internet. The reason for that is photos. So here you are, front-facing camera, pointing directly at you. No problem at all. But that's a rubbish camera, let's be honest. The selfie camera is never the best camera on a smartphone. So what you can do, and I did this on a bushwalk with the kids, you have it on the rear, the main camera, you put it on a 5 or 10 second timer and you sit it down. And you point it to where you need it to be. You can see it lined up, you can angle it however you need it to be. So it's sitting on a rock or a log or a ledge, and you can angle it whichever way you need to, snap the photo. On a timer, you can run out and get in the photo. Now, that you actually need to line it up before you get into that photo, because the real challenge, the real fun part about this actually is this front screen and using that as a camera. So when you double click the power button, this here becomes a little viewfinder for the camera. Now you get access to both lenses, the single wide and the ultra wide, just by swiping on there, so it changes to the other lens. And that allows you to do the odd selfie. And a single click, they can be on a timer, whatever you like, and you can take really good, high quality photos because you're using the rear camera and you're making sure that you've composed the photo correctly. At $2,199, it's expensive. It's very expensive. And bang for your buck. Feature, screen size, all those things. There are better value phones out there. But you know what they don't do? Simple as that. And yes, you can hang up on people just by shutting the phone. And it's a good feeling like the old days. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip on sale Friday. And I honestly, if I'm buying a new smartphone, I'm buying this. It's a really good phone. I don't think the lower quality cameras or any of those feature sets that it fails in, if you like, are at all a negative to the buyer of this phone. The purple one will sell in hot numbers, primarily to the female audience. I actually think that they are missing the fact that this has widespread appeal, especially in the business market. This black one works for me. It's a beautiful phone. It's a very pioneering device, and we're going to see a lot more folding phones. And Motorola Razr, I don't even know where yours is.